Yo, 1 2 1 2. This thing is on. I think this is a good volume too. Okay. Glad I checked it this time around. Alright, so look, we about to do a reading, right? For all signs, of course. We're gonna get into like spiritual advice for shifting in a spiritual career. So there's gonna be an advice reading, but it's gonna be related to shifting your career into spirituality. This was brought to my attention by Aneska, and I think this holds importance, especially if you're watching this video or you watch my videos and stuff like that. Because, I mean, I know some readers and some astrologers watch me anyway. Motivational speakers watch me, etc., etc. So it's not far fetched for one, and two, um, it's just really the time when you think about it. If you study the stars and you watch the signs of the times, we probably need more spiritual readers, more spiritual people just in the field in general. Yours may differ, but that's my story and I'm sticking to it. So, but I can give more clarity, especially in the readings. Like I can apply some of the things that I know about astrology. I could apply some of my personal experiences and things of that nature to just bring more, to just elaborate more on it. You know what I mean? So that's the type of reading we're doing today. It's going to be a 5 card draw, so we're going to be getting a little bit more in depth. So, just giving y'all a forewarning, you heard? And I may cuss, but I don't curse. Don't let that fly over your head, you heard? And I'm going to cut this deck for y'all. We're going to get into it. So this is for the Aries energy, the Aries collective energy. Everybody watching for Aries, whether it pertains to your chart, however you choose to apply it. Cross watchers, you're all welcome. Let me take a sip from this Pisces mug real quick. You may not be able to see it, but yeah, I'll be showing off sometimes. This is the type of stuff I show off about. You know what I mean? But anyway, okay. Let me stop playing. 2 minutes in now. So this is the past influence about this type of embarking on this type of journey. So this is the 5 of Wands in reverse. So I'm getting from this, right? I'm getting from this automatically that anything that you've been dealing with regarding spirituality, right? That, and this is whether you're into it right now at the moment, or you've been thinking about it, or if you've been dibbling and dabbling, you're on the fence about it, Aries energy. This is what is being said in the past, that there was a lot of conflict or some sort of conflict that actually kind of pushed you to that point. Because let's say you were in the real Aries vein about things and you just wanted to fight or some shit, or you just wanted to snap back, or you just wanted to, you know what I mean, go to war, whether it's verbally, physically. You might have stumbled on some spiritual way of going to war. And that's where I'm getting this past influence came from. It's like you fought a battle in a different kind of way, and it actually worked in your favor. And it may have not felt like a victory, but coming to terms with someone, or whoever the person you was in conflict with, or the people you were in conflict with, showed you a new side of things. Showed you that you don't have to take it to the extreme and really risk it all based upon how people feel or what people say, or, you know, even threats or what have you. There's more than one way to skin a cat, as they say. And that's what I'm feeling happened in the past. I think you actually looked at someone who did this as work, who did spirituality as work, and you learned a technique or two, you adhered to it, you followed through with it, and you was like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? And you might have even saw yourself or pictured yourself as being that type of spiritual warrior, because Aries energy is about a warrior. Aries energy also represents protecting people. So to see that side of things and be like, well, oh shit, you can actually fight spiritually. You can actually protect people spiritually. That is what influenced you in the past. Now, let's talk about the present influence regarding a spiritual shift, career type matters and stuff like that. So we got the Page of Swords. So I think actually embarking on this spiritual career path for you was out of curiosity. I think the curiosity comes from how far you think you could take it, or would you even fully go through with it? And I get that there is some type of doubt with you though. Like there's some type of delay because you need patience before you fully go through with it. And when we're talking about Aries energy, patience is like the the supervillain of Aries. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean wait? What are you talking about? And the thing is, you actually, and this may sound kind of wild, but you actually need more inspiration. You need more ideas before you do this. And the reason being is because you may not notice this, and I don't know if anyone's pulled your coat about this, but you're going to look selfish when you do this. And that may come across as in, first of all, I would say it'll come across in your speech. So the things that you're going to say are going to seem more along the lines of what you feel, what you do. And what can happen when that happens is people can pick up on that and be like, well, wait a minute, there's a disconnect here, because this person is always talking about themselves. Like, it's not sectored off, it's not interjected in certain places where it can make sense. Don't get me wrong, applying yourself can make sense in some spiritual lessons, but it's going to come across when you do it as real selfish. I'm gonna just keep it a beam with you. And that could range from a different amount of things and characteristics. You make it fit how it's supposed to fit, pause. But that's how it's going to come across to people. So you need more ideas, more innovative ideas that's going to involve people, that's going to be relatable and kind of like speaking from third person, if you will. So think about writing a book, right? Or reading a book. When you read a book, sometimes people write it in first person, sometimes people write it in third person. But when you communicate and you do it in third person, it gives more of a stepping off of the situation to let people get involved and see it from different sides, and there's no bias included. You understand what I'm saying? So should you do that, you'll be able to hone and perfect your craft to a place where it'll be more beneficial to you. And I think you know this, but the question is, can you do it? I think that's the question, and that's what you're more curious about than the actual spiritual endeavor is, can you actually pull this off without going straight full force ahead with blinders on and forgetting about other people when you do this? Let's look at the major influence for the Aries energy. The Ace of Cups in reverse. The Ace of Cups in reverse. Okay. See, what I'm getting from here is you might even be in this spiritual career because of something that happened. Something that kind of crushed you. Something that caused you pain. Something that caused you sadness. And what I'm feeling right now is you're even sad right now. That sadness is blocking you. I'm going to just keep it a beam with you. It's preventing you from excelling. And it's related to this. It's preventing you from excelling in a spiritual matter, in a spiritual way. And emotions and spirituality, they go hand in hand. So it's like when you're hindered, like you may even hear card readers say, like, you know, they'll do their best to recharge their batteries before they do a reading. I ain't gonna hold you. Before I started doing it, like yesterday, after I did my readings, I like laid down and like took a rest and just started like watching TV and just laid down the whole rest of the day, because I was actually preparing for these readings today, because I knew it was going to take a bit more out of me. You understand what I'm saying? So, pause. But anyway, that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm picking up on. Like, you got to make sure that you're not doing this out of vengeance for how someone or some group of people made you feel. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's going to be like you're going to be constantly running away from the real deal at hand that's going on in your personal life. So it's only about a matter of time before, and this is what I said, like when I was talking about interjecting your own point of view into it, you got to be careful to not do that excessively. All right? Because there has to be some type of balance, because people are going to want to tap into what you feel and do as a person too. That can really help your image, your brand, by, you know, giving some experiences that you have. But at the same time, like I said, it needs some balance. You have to be able to involve the other people and speak from like a third person point of view to, like, you know, when you're explaining your messages. And it doesn't have to be tarot reading. This could be a number of different things. Motivational speaking. This can be yoga. This could be all kinds of things. You know what I mean? You make it fit how it's supposed to fit. Pause. But if you're coming from a place of pain, it's like, how should I say it? I'm not saying you're wrong, because that's the major influence. So it's like, I get it, but it's like being bitter while doing it is going to be an issue. You understand what I'm saying? And if it shows excessively, just be prepared. I'm just telling you, for people to be in the comment section like, well, you need to get over that shit before you do another reading, because those comments do come across sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And whether they're valid or not, who knows? But I'm giving you an insight into the spiritual message for you regarding this type of shift in career. But I'm gonna give you some advice from the advice card so I can remove myself from it. You heard? And then just elaborate and clarify on that. See, and I brought it up. See, that's what I be doing sometimes. I brought it up. Look, 7 of Wands, right? Hold on. Jeez. Okay. 7 of Wands is going to be a situation where you're going to have to stand your ground. So, just like I was saying, if you see somebody come in the comment section and they're like, yo, you need to tighten up, or you need to stop being bitter, or you need to get over that, whatever it is that you've been through. Who hurt you, bro? Or who hurt you, sis? That type of shit. Stand your ground. Stand your ground. Like I said, in the major influence, I'm not saying if you're right or wrong. But what I'm saying is this. Be prepared for people to point out when you're doing the spiritual work more for you than you're doing it for them. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, when you're doing the spiritual work for you, you can turn the camera off, you know? Personally, and this may help, you know what I'm saying? Personally, for me, I had the camera off for like, I'd say about, I don't know, I gave myself about 15 to 20 readings before I started going live. Not live, but public with the readings. And I did that for a number of reasons. I did that to just see, you know, where am I at spiritually? Where am I at in my life? Does it make sense? Am I connecting the dots? And I was just like ecstatic over the results that I was getting for myself. You know what I'm saying? And then I decided to turn on the TV, so to speak. You know what I mean? Because I was prepared to deal with anything that came in response to my delivery, the way I approached it. You know what I mean? And people have been telling me to do this for some time now, like for real. And I've just been like, yeah, dancing around it and shit like that. Like, but my point is this: you're gonna have to stand your ground when it comes time to do it. You're gonna have to remain assertive when doing it, and this is my own add-on too, from experience and just studying astrology. If you're in Aries especially, you got to continue to do it. You can't shoot out like 50, 60 videos and then disappear for 3 months. Take it from a person who disappeared for a year. Alright? You just can't do it. And that's probably one of the most challenging things for an Aries to do. You might do 50, 60 videos and then all of a sudden want to play the saxophone and make a channel for that. And that's not what we doing around here. Because I'm going to tell you like this. This is also a gem that you can take with you. The more you get involved with spiritual work, the quicker you can manifest things in your life that will no longer make you sad or have you being in conflict with people who are operating off dense, heavy energy in the 3D. Right? So I know like Aries energy likes to apply itself often, likes to work often, likes to move at least often, and in belief that, okay, yeah, you're gonna get money as long as you moving and stay active and people want to hire you for your services. It's true, but that's also going to keep you locked in the 3D, and it might be more than you want to or need to be. So that's also a gem I want to give you. Now, what will happen if you follow the advice that's recommended? That's this card right here, which is the Knight of Wands. Well, you're going to be generous. That's a Aries quality. I'm going to just keep it a beam with you anyway. So that's nothing out of your league right there. You'll be making quick decisions, nothing out of your league. This is Wand energy. Nothing of this is out of your league. It's Sagittarian, but it's also Mars, your ruling planet. You know what I'm saying? But this is my point. Should you follow this advice, you're going to be able to negotiate. Negotiate is going to be negotiating deals with people who actually seek your services. But if you veer away from it, you can't hold no negotiations because people are not going to take you seriously enough. And people might even frown on you, and people can get upset in the spiritual community because when they see their favorite people just veer off or disappear, they like, man, damn, some of them feel robbed on some real shit. Some of them feel like different than a preacher that takes everyone's money and does whatever they do with it that's not for the church. You understand what I'm saying? Like, people feel robbed by that shit. So should you follow that advice, right? That was drawn on an advice card. You're going to open up some doors for yourself. You're going to be negotiating with other people. It might be other spiritualists. It might be just with clients, a client base, you know what I'm saying, that want your services because of your energy. They're going to pick up on your energy. So I would say, don't try to lose yourself trying to make an impact because this is something that you're curious about. You don't know if you're going to do fantastic and stuff like that. I wouldn't recommend that because there's so much fire energy being drawn in this reading. You know what I'm saying? It's really not saying to do that. But just also be prepared that you're going to be hasty, so you might buy 20 decks. This is tied to the Aries generosity too, so you might just go buy like 20 decks of cards and you really don't need that many. So that's like a hasty decision, but nonetheless, you're probably going to make it. Even by hearing this, you're probably going to make it. Because this is what happens when the advice is taken. But look, we got 3 fire cards: conflict, standing your ground despite it all, and the passion, developing the passion to keep going. You know what I'm saying? So be prepared to pick up with more people who are more your speed too. So your client base will even be more your speed. Like, I see your sales coming quickly. In contrast to like if it was pentacle energy, if it was water energy. With Wand energy, they're going to be quick and assertive the same way that you are. So it's really going to reflect the energy that you give off if you're in that Aries type of energy. So before I let y'all go, right, I'm going to pull a crystal grid card. Fuck it. I feel like mine as well. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, I think this makes a lot of sense right now. I can get more in detail with each sign. I'm going to give each sign a little something of my insight. You know what I mean? But for Aries, like I said, the most important gem I could tell you astrologically is to keep going. I don't care if you upload 3 times a day. Keep going. Because you would burn out, not necessarily, but you would really put a lot of work in anything else you did in life. Physical work. So just imagine if you was behind a computer screen with a couple of cameras and some lights, nice little backdrop, however you want to do it, you know what I'm saying? Making some photos of yourself, thumbnails and shit like that. You know how much energy you would be reserving? I must put emphasis on that when it comes to an Aries reading, because I truly do know the energy. I know it. Like, so you don't know until you try, and I seen the curiosity on one of these cards, so it's like you're curious about it anyway. You'd be surprised how your 3D world can change should you apply spirituality first. That's all I'm saying. You know, your neighboring sign is Pisces. Y'all do have something to give each other, you know what I'm saying, to benefit from, to pass each other. And I think spirituality is definitely the major factor that you can get from Pisces. Alright. So, with that being said, I'm going to draw this crystal card. This is the Tree Agate. Man, I'll probably be butchering these. But anyway, stability, grounding, root. Okay. Tree Agate is a stable force that grounds you back to earth, rooting you, to the core of your being, a stone in resonance with nature. Tree Agate asks that you nurture the seeds you have planted and provide enough sustenance for them to succeed. Remember what I was telling you. When you plant them, you gotta, you know what I'm saying, attend to them. So weed out the negativity and naysayers. What was we talking about, B? Come on, B. You haters going to hate, yo. let me calm down. Weed out the negativity and naysayers, including your inner critic, and know that despite it all, you are good enough. Tree Agate promotes a security in moments of growth, so you feel safe as you expand in your journey. Follow your truth and know that you are supported along the way. This is a Virgo and Mercury crystal card as well. So when you think about that, you think about the speech, right? You're going to have to do some talking when it comes to this spirituality thing. So I hope that helped everyone who watched, especially if you watched it to the end. Kudos to you. I appreciate you. And until next time, I'm out.